Children, you have two hands, one to help yourself and the second to help others. But our Corona warriors are using their both hands to help community. So let's stand together for them and their families. Well, yesterday only we have begun the new chapter, that is matter around us pure, and in the beginning of the chapter I told you that how to identify the substances and mixture. Substances which are pure in nature and mixture which are impure in nature. How can we differentiate and how can we understand that what is their way of mixing, and how to identify that whether they are homogeneous and heterogeneous in nature, etc. has been taken up with the help of activities, of course. But one question that given us little much brainstorming in the last activity was that why the mixture of your milk and water or ink and water was looking homogeneous, but I told that it is not homogeneous and heterogeneous. So that mystery will be solved in this class today, and we will understand what are the different types of mixture on the basis of certain properties of the mixture, which I am making it clear that what is actually these certain properties soon. So guys, after I enabled you to identify the homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, I am telling you about a very common term that is called solution. It is our day-to-day life word, and we make solution every day, and we keep dissolving different type of things in the water, and sometimes we find that the added thing in the water is getting dissolved and sometimes it is not getting dissolved. So this is actually will be taken up in the topic which is called solution. So on the basis of mixing, I have told that homogeneous and heterogeneous are the type of mixture, but on the basis of solubility we are going to understand that what is the type of mixture. On the basis of solubility, mixtures are of three types. One is your solution, second is your suspension, and the third is your colloids. So try to recall what you have studied so far about the solution. In the junior classes also you have studied about the solution, that it is nothing but a mixture of solute and solvent. Solvent plays the major volume and the solute is the smaller part of the mixture. It is a type of mixture, but on the basis of dissolution I am saying that on the basis of solubility, here we are dividing mixture into three types. So first type is that mixture in which the solute gets completely dissolved in the solvent. That solvent can be an aqueous solvent or non-aqueous solvent. Try to understand what do I mean by aqueous and non-aqueous solvent. Aqueous solvent is that solvent which is just water, because water is a universal solvent and it tries to dissolve maximum type of solute in it. So it is an aqueous solvent. And those solvents which are not water, they can be your alcohol like methanol, ethanol, etc., acetone, benzene, phenol, etc. They are non-aqueous solvent. They also can dissolve different type of substances which don't get dissolved in the water, and that they are non-aqueous solvent. So both will be solvent only. If the solute dissolves completely in them, then that type of solution that we are obtaining here will be your true solution. True solution has certain characteristics that I am going to tell you now. A day-to-day life activity that you keep doing always, that you take a glass of water and you add little much sugar and lemon juice in it. So what do you find after adding them in the water? That the water has not formed any distinct layer of lemon juice, sugar and water separately, but it is looking top to bottom same. So immediately you identified that the mixing is uniform, so it will be a homogeneous mixture. That is a first characteristic of solution, true solution I mean to say, that it will be a homogeneous mixture. Solution will be homogeneous in nature. Secondly, since you don't find any change in the appearance in the solution, like you taken a spoon or a glass rod and you are stirring the mixture, do you find any change in the appearance? No, it is again looking the same. So it displays the property of stability. Stability means with stirring and with setting it does not change its appearance. This is the second characteristic of the true solution, that it will be stable in nature. Third characteristic is that whether you are able to separate it just by taking a filtration process, Means suppose that you have been given an arrangement of filtration like a funnel and filter paper, and you have been told that you pass the liquid through the filter paper. Do you find that any residue you obtain over the filters? This will get more clear in the lab class, I am telling, because I will perform it live in front of you, then you will understand it better, but just try to know, get it. So you will not find any residue over the filter paper. Whole mixture will pass through very nicely and will come down in the beaker kept at the bottom. And this is the property of cannot get filtered, cannot be separated by the method of filtration. Filtration is not the right process to separate the true solution. This is the third characteristic. The fourth characteristic is that that is your whether it scatters the beam of light or not, that I will tell you later. Again, this is a separate topic in itself, and that is called Tyndall effect, which I am not taking now. In my next class I will take it. So boys, your normal question should be here that by what process, since I have told you in the beginning of the chapter that the mixtures can be separated by physical method, and just now I told you that the filtration is not the right method to separate a true solution. Then is there any process to separate the your true solution? Yes, it is a very easy process, and that is your evaporation either, or vaporization, or boiling. All are same actually. It is only that evaporation is a slow process, or vaporization and boiling, which is exactly same, are the fast process and an artificial process. So we what we do that we keep the solution over the fire, and we find that the solvent gets evaporated, because the solvent is a volatile liquid always. So it gets vaporized either or evaporated if we have followed the process of evaporation, and we are left behind what? With the solute. This is a right method to separate. But here in the box a new word appears, like new is given, that is your alloys. What are alloys? Alloys are nothing but the mixture only, but the mixture of metals. Like just now I told you that solution has two components. One is your solvent and another is your solute. One is your liquid, another is your solid. But that is not a single necessity to form a mixture. This is not a single condition that you will need a liquid and you will need a solid. You can form mixture with the only gases also, with gas and liquid also, with only solid also, but for only solid there is a single type of solution only, and that is called alloy. Alloy is also called solid solution. It is a solution, solid solution. Why? Because the metals are mixed in the fixed ratio in their molten state. I am saying not melted, because when the temperature goes very high, the metal then starts melting, and that is called molten state. So in the molten state of metals, some non-metal and some other metal are mixed, and then they are solidified and they become better. They become more corrosion resistant. They become more hard and elastic, etc. And we have a very good example of alloy in our day-to-day life, like your stainless steel, which has no poor qualities of the iron, that it gets rusted and all, and it is more elastic and hard and solid and has more strength. So that is your solid solution and an alloy. Apart from that, bronze, your brass, etc. are also alloy. Hindallium, etc. are alloys. So alloy is a single type of solid solution. There is no other solid, and alloys are homogeneous. Whenever I am saying solution or true solution, means they will be definitely homogeneous in nature. So alloys are homogeneous in nature, but they cannot be separated by the physical methods, because they are solid in nature, where the attraction between the particle is very high. So we cannot go for the physical separation method, and some different type of separation method like melting them and then by electrolytic decomposition, etc. they can be separated. Boys, in the solution in your NCERT book, you will see that some examples are given. These examples are highly scientific and they will make you understand about the solution in a more concrete and a better way. So let us take up the first example. In the first example, given that a solution of sugar in water is a solid in liquid solution. In this solution, sugar is the soluble and water is the solvent. What I am trying to tell you that in every example, we will try to find the state of the solute and solvent to make it clear that what can be the different state which can form solution. Here a solution of sugar and water, sugar is solid, water is liquid, so it is a true solution of solid and liquid which is the major part, and solvent which is water, and sugar is the smaller part which is solute and is solid in nature. In the second example, and that was a true solution, sugar and water or sugar syrup etc. are the true solution. In the second example, a solution of iodine in alcohol, which is also commonly known as tincture iodine, and it is a kind of medicine that is used to treat cold and cough etc., is also a true solution. Here you can raise the question that it is also looking same because iodine is solid in nature and the alcohol is liquid, but no, there is a big difference here. Iodine is solid, but it is not a normal solid, it is a sublimating substance which doesn't have any liquid state. And alcohol, just now I told you that there are non-aqueous solvent. Water was the aqueous solvent and the sugar was the normal solid. Here iodine is a sublimating substance, solid but sublimating substance, and alcohol is a liquid but a non-aqueous solvent. So this is another type of solid and liquid solution, when we are forming the solution with a sublimating solid and the non-aqueous solvent, and that will also form a very homogeneous kind of mixture, and that is your true solution. Now in the third example, your query level will become more higher here, because we are taking the example of aerated drinks like soda water etc., fizzy drinks that you keep drinking like cola and all. So how can we call it a true solution, because it has been also given a space in the example of true solution. Here what is solute? Solute is nothing but the carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide is a gas and water is the solvent. Under the compression, the carbon dioxide has got dissolved in water, so it is a true solution of what? Gaseous and liquid substances, where the solute is a gaseous part and the solvent is a liquid. This is also a unique example. As soon as you must have seen that open the bottle of the fizzy drinks, the bubbles start coming out, and these are nothing but the bubbles of carbon dioxide gas because of the insolubility of water under normal carbon dioxide under the normal condition in water. Carbon dioxide doesn't dissolve easily in water, so it tries to escape in the form of big bubbles, and it comes out when as soon as you open the bottle. The last example is nothing but the example of air. How can you call air is a true solution? Because air is totally a gaseous medium. But yes, this can also be a very good example of true solution. Air has the different gases like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, argon, and some inert gases, etc., water vapor. And they are mixed in a homogeneous way. You don't find any layering. You can't identify a particular gas in the air. Everywhere it is transparent and invisible. That is the best example of true solution. Here diffusion of the other gases are very, some gases are very nicely done, and it is forming a homogeneous mixture, and every homogeneous mixture will be a true solution. Now just learn it, that every homogeneous mixture will be a true solution irrespective of their states. So this much I tried to make it clear in today's class. In my next class, together I will take up the topic of the other two types of solution, that is your suspension and colloid, where the solubility will be under question.